here, I'm gonna try and show you some things that work for me, just like the little guys, the young guys, I showed them a couple things on the takedowns that worked for me. And you can't argue with it because it worked for me. It might not work for you. But what I want to do is I want to show you guys what I developed, how I got into pinning people. That's something, in case you guys don't know, I know that wrestling has changed. I think good wrestling is still good wrestling. What is the number one goal of wrestling? When you step out on the mat, what is the goal? Can someone tell me? Go ahead. Huh? Get control. I'm talking about what you are always working for. Obviously, you step out on the mat, we shake hands, we get in our stance, we wrestle, start to try to get control. But it's good. What is it? What's the end result? What is the goal of going out to wrestle? What? Thank you. Not many people. Thank you. Not many people know that. Today's the day and age. It has evolved into a game of takedowns. Not many people know how to pin. Not many people know how to ride. If you go to college and you want to take that next step, you're going to have to learn how to ride, i.e., keep people from getting away from you. So I'm going to tell you something real simple. This is going to be so basic, you're going to say, why didn't I ever think of this? Or it was there in front of you the whole time. So I'm going to just have Timmy. He doesn't know what I'm going to do, by the way. Go ahead.
Legs.
All right, let's get a bigger guy, a little bit bigger. Oh, here's a step. Come on, face that way. Okay, get down and stance. No.
Referee's position.
Not a problem. All right, so I'm not going to try and kill you. I'm going to try and be easy on you, but I am a big guy. Don't worry. You're good. You look like a step. All right, there we go. All right, so first thing, switch over here to this side. Now, maybe some of you guys might know this. Some of you guys don't. I'll guarantee there's somebody here that doesn't know this. And after I show you this, I just want to show a hand that said, oh, I've never done it that way, or I didn't know that, okay? Now, obviously, you guys are all a bit older here. I can see it, everything. The system that I developed whenever I was going to try and ride someone, pin someone, first thing I would do, can I get down? See that? See what I did? Yeah, see what I did. Everybody in here does it this way, right? Or if you guys over here, everybody gets down this way, do they not? I do something different. This is because I had studs like this trying to get up. Whenever I was taught in CCNS, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just everybody's ready for it. Actually, in the old days, they taught you to knee the guy in the ass. You actually knee him. That's a forgotten one. So believe it or not, the way that you used to do it, or the way that you might have been taught, right now I can tell you what you guys all do. You guys all off the whistle. You're here, okay? Obviously, in CCNS, when they taught us the right way, Jim, right? Is you were kneeing a guy to get him going. But now I do something different. It's two little things. It's going to help you out. I'm going to tell you why you're going to do it this way, or at least be open to this. I taught myself to do this. I come, it's perfectly legal. I want my hand, whenever I start my parterre position, to be right here. Why do you think that I might want to do that? Does anybody want to venture a guess? Go ahead.
To be close to inside the arms of the opponent.
You are exactly right. From here to here takes longer than here to here. If you don't remember anything else today, that might be something that makes your hop game 50% better, because we all know if you could stop his motion, then you have a good chance of breaking him down and going into the move. Now, obviously, I can, as far as pop, I can show you any type of cradle you want. I'm very good on legs. Don't know if he wants me to kill him on it with legs and show him my coach's technique or whatever, but for the sake of argument, we're going to give you something to start. Whatever you want to do, this might be a great thing for for you. So instead of this, get used to this. Now, the reason why I do that is just what he said back there, is I want the inside position. Everybody else is used to breaking a guy down here, but I don't want to do that. I want to stop him right away. So right off the whistle, like I said, this is just something that I do differently. Try it, it might work for you. Right off the whistle, if I'm here or I'm here, it's both legal, right here, back of the elbow. Off the whistle, all I'm doing is trying to put all his weight on his hands. Obviously, he would be trying to stand up, I know that and everything, but I'm going to drive him forward onto his hands. And there's going to be a reason why I do that. So when the referee blows the whistle, I'm here. I want to be put right here. So I'm chopping at his legs. I'm trying to pull his legs back a little bit to get him elongated. Whenever I'm inside position is what I'm looking for, and I have him elongated, he's going to have trouble doing the moves. He's going to have trouble standing up. He's going to have trouble doing his initial move, his sit-up, his butt back, his Granby roll, his whatever you want to talk about it, because I've put all his weight on his hands. The reason why I want all his weight on his hands is because that's how I'm going to break him down. So instead of off the whistle trying to chop him and he hits a sit out at the same time or a switch or whatever, and he's up and he's out, I just want to be nice and tight. I want to elongate him. Just so remember, I want to stretch him out. I don't want him to be in a ball and me being over top. That's dangerous. I want to be underneath him, so then I could start to attack these elbows, these arms, and these wrists. So then it becomes whatever he gives me. If I can elongate him right off the whistle, it's going to be tough to be faster than me, because I'm already from here to here. Okay? So get back in your stance real quick. Small little things that you don't think about. But I think I didn't come here to make you a lot better. I just came here to make you a little bit better. Okay? Just a little bit better. Okay? So, first thing I do when I line up, see this? Let's go from here to here. And here, that's legal. Okay? Then I go to wrestle. What I do is I'm going to push it forward. I'm going to chop and elongate. I want him to put all his weight. I want to get him from being here to here. I want him to put his weight on his hands. Right here. Now I got fit. I typically will do this. I typically have him nice and tight. I typically will slide off a little bit right to the side. It's my big finish, my bread and butter. The reason why is weight on his hand. I have weight here. Simple thing. So if I have my weight here, what is going to be very easy for me to get a hold of? Pretty simple. Anybody want to venture a guess? This arm. Really? This is really high-end stuff here, guys, but you didn't know that. Similarly, if I'm on this side and I knock him forward and I have weight, pushing here, and I got his weight here. And if I'm off the side of this shoulder, where is a lot of his weight? A lot of his weight is on what hand? This hand. Okay. But because I was a creature of habit, I'm going to go into the move that I use. This is just a simple setup. It's my stance. It's beating him to the punch. It's elongating him. It's getting him to put one of his weight on one of his hands. Typically, usually this one. I'm going to do this one because that's what I'm best at. And then I'm going to go into showing you how I get into my armbar. And at the college level, half of my wins were by pinfall. So I was always proud of that. I knew how to pin a lot of people in college and so forth. So it's nice and simple. So I'm not boring you guys, trust me. It's just a way of doing something different. So from here, take them forward. About weight on that shoulder. Right here, now I can put my hand around him and I can come and I can start to either knock. A lot of times I like to knock this out, or sometimes I'll come over. Typically, I want to get them flat. So I come from here to here, I want them flat. Typically what I'm going to do with the weight on the shoulder, I'm going to knock this out. I'm going to knock that out. Now from here, I'm going to come over and start working my bar. Bar is pretty easy. I'm going to just come in here and just slide my hand right here. Right here. Okay, pretty simple. Now, just to let you know, whenever I got the bar, not all bars are created equal. What I would do is I would adjust. I want to be above his elbow. I don't want to be below his elbow. So I want to be above his elbow. I want to catch that right here, nice and tight. It's a small thing. So if you're down here, it's not no good. If you do end up here, you want to make sure that you come and you get that elbow up underneath the crook of your arm right there, okay? From right here, I do what's called a dagger. See, this is my hand right here, if you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm above his elbow, I have this tight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a dagger. Like I'm putting it in the back of his fist. And then all I'm gonna do with my two knuckles, this is great stuff. He doesn't want to dig it, he doesn't have to, but I'm just dig it in until I get a nice loose underhook here. And then I'm gonna just slide here, and I'm gonna start to work them on over. Once I'm here, he's done. Let's start putting them over here. And that's my nice tight. My nice tight. All right. As they say, the devil is in the details. So I'm gonna slow it down a little bit more. I'm gonna show you. If you guys can pick up on it, it's not that probably everybody in here probably knows how to do an arm bar. But to do it a little bit more effective and turn someone with it, some of these things are gonna work for you. So,
Coach, when you put that arm bar in, put all your weight on him a little bit, you raise up.
I can do it either way. It depends what he gives me. Some guys are gonna fight it, and I'll have him do it. It depends. It's just like the takedowns we show. If I go this way, and he puts that leg back and go that way. If he turns away from me, then there's something else that I can do. I can underhook it, pull him over different ways. But for just the sake of getting into it, just to show you a different way to get into it. What is given to me? How did I learn this? Well, it's just what I found myself in positions. Do you ever wrestle? You find yourself that the guy's leg's always there, or his head's always there. And when I hit the move, this is always there, or whatever. You should pay particular attention to that, because that's an opportunity to learn and get better to be able to hit a move off of that. If you're finding yourself in these advantageous positions, simple for me, I just simply wanted to keep guys from getting away. Nothing more simpler than that. So like I said, big thing, and by the way, I told the little guys this type of stuff. I think it's really important. I've been to a lot of camps in my day, whenever I was your age. High school, intensive wrestling ones, the ones that lasted 2 weeks and everything. And you're amazed that whenever you get taught something, you lose it. How fast do you lose something? How fast do you forget something? I always tell people, one of the better things to retain this, if you have a notebook or whenever you get a break, you write this down. When you go home, write down what you learned that was different that's going to help you out. It might be as simple as you guys saying, hey, I'm going to place my hand behind his elbow instead of on the side of his elbow. Back of the elbow instead of the side. You write that down, and so whenever you come and you're wrestling, you can practice that. See if that helps you keep them tied down soon. It's a simple thing. Commit to it. Give it a shot. Okay. All right. So let's go back to this. Like I said, I think it's helpful. It's always been helpful to me if I wrote something down. There's maybe some little way that I did something a little bit different that you could say, oh, okay, he grabbed the head and pulled it down over the knee. He clubbed them and put it down this way. He put the weight. The head has to go over the knee for this to work. Make these notes to yourself. So when you go back into the wrestling room, you can say, oh, okay, you know what I'm forgetting to do? I'm forgetting to do this. All right, let's get back to this. Nice and simple. We'll just have you for now, whatever side you want to get on. You're going to start, instead of this way, you're going to start right this way. Okay? Your first move, what's it going to be? You're going to chop and elongate. Pretty simple. It doesn't get much harder than that. So, you get in position, you practice getting right forward. right? You know that it's weighted forward because it has to be. Okay, so I chopped here, I have pushed this back. I got weight here, so I got nice and tight to them. Now from right here, what I like to do is I like to knock a hand out. Sometimes I do this, but I would rather first, my first move is I like to be underneath them because I want to be able to stop anything. I can ride them, some of you guys ride this way, whatever. You have these different things, but I want to be underneath him. I don't want his hands to be, I don't want to be over top of his hands initially. And then from here, I'm going to just from one tight waist and knock this out. So I'm going to push this, I'm going to kind of go like a crescent to the outside. You hear? I'm going to move that out here. Now from there, now obviously I know his first reaction is going to be trying to get back up. He's going to be trying to get, if he does that, I'm going to chop and pull. So that way, as soon as he starts to pull himself, I'm gonna come over and chop that. Okay, so I'm here, and simply, I'm gonna come here and work this right underneath here. Okay. Now, I'm not quite right yet. Why am I not right? You went up because I'm too low. Okay. What I have to do is cinch this up. I want to be tighter, so that elbow is not trapped yet. But now it's trapped. See that? Kind of give it a bear hug. See that? So the big thing is grabbing it and pulling it. So here, and then make sure I have that elbow trapped. If it pops out, I'm in trouble. Okay, you can limp arm or do whatever. I mean, obviously there's still things I can do. I can grab it and do head and arm and stuff, but for the sake of the thing, I want to make sure that I'm nice and tight. I got that trapped right in front. Okay. Right there. Important. I don't want my hand here. It's like a dagger. I want this to hurt whenever it goes over. And then, two great things that you're allowed to do. If someone's not giving your arm, they're trying to climb up, they're trying to stall, it's called two knuckles. And I'm not going to hurt him unless he wants to try and be hard on me and not give me what I want. But I can always, I always work him in. I can work him in. I don't like that. Two knuckles, dig it in his ribs, and it gets to be a lot easier to get what you want. Like I said, I'm going to just cup this right here, where it's going to tighten up as I go. I have that, and I slide my, being here, slide my leg right here. Okay? So I have this tight, try to keep it tight, got the dagger, by the shoulder cup, and all I got to do is just nice and slightly take my time. I hope you guys do it slow. And just start to walk his head right on over. Right on over. And here we go. Was that too hard to, do I need to see it again? Do I need to show it again? And you got, what's the question? Can you say again? Perfect, not a problem. You good on here?
Me?
Yeah.
No, you're too big.
Too big? You hang in there, brother?
I'm good.
All right. Not too much.
You get double legs on the single legs, it's not wrong.
What's that?
Singles and doubles, I'll take. Arm bars.
Draw the line on that.
If you're arm bar, I draw the line.
Pretty simple. Like I said, I have an arm bar. It's good. It's a good arm bar. The best thing is, though, is how I get into it. Okay? So here we go. Here, let's move forward. Got weight here. You got this. Make sure that you're not going to make sure you got some nice weight on. Then obviously, what am I going to do next? Somebody want to yell it out? Knock his hand. Come in here, and I'm trying to get him to go flat. All right, that's what I do. Just weight, got weight right here. Boom. All right. Now I do know once I go and this goes around his waist for a tight waist. As he starts to come up, I'm going to come around, take it forward. Now don't be afraid to be a little bit mean with it. He ain't gonna just I gotta chop this down and pull it. Boom. Boom. We go. And now I gotta make sure, I gotta tell myself what? I gotta make sure that I trap what? Elbow. So I'm kind of right on the verge, but I want to get a little bit further. Work it up tight. Work my dagger. I'm gonna put the dagger in the back of his blade. I'm gonna keep it nice and tight. From there, my hands is around his waist. Now I don't mind squeeze him a little bit, move him here a little bit, that sort of thing, so work it tighter, that sort of thing. Well, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna come up and grab the shoulder. Now, if he's being a jerk and not letting me get it, what am I gonna do? These two knuckles to work it in. I'm gonna dig it up till I get it. Okay? Two knuckles is a great thing. I'm gonna cut this right here. Then what am I gonna do? My legs are gonna do what? I'm gonna slide out what leg? Bottom leg. I'm gonna slide out. There I am. So that nice and tight. Squeeze it in. Nice and tight. And all I'm gonna do is start to drive to a certain route. I'm gonna try and put my knee, my head over there. So I'm gonna start driving. There we go. There's my pinfall right here. Time. Let's get your partners. Hang in there, stud.
Partner on board.